All right, all right. Woo! Hey, what's going on? How's it going out there? Ladies and gentlemen, it is a new me. It is a new day. We're going up on a new year. I got a little new me going on, a smaller new me, and I'm excited about it. Excited to share it with everybody. Hey, if you could do me a favor, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and I want to know who you are. If you could go into the comment section and just let me know where you are from and your name, where you're from, so we can all get to know each other. Hey, if you have not heard, something great happened in my life for the past 30 or so days, and that's I was able to drop some weight right before the New Year's season, and I wanted to get into that. Some people have been, got some congratulations. Hopefully, I get to inspire some more people to make changes. It doesn't necessarily have to be at the level that I did, but definitely want to say what's going on. What's going on, Omar? Kingston, Jamaica in the house. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it's been a very interesting past journey. And I just wanted to go ahead and go into depth as we always do. We let the video go out at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every time, and on Thursdays, and then follow it up in the evening just to go a little bit deeper, get deep into it. Hey, what's going on, Ohio? In the house, Cincinnati, Ohio. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been an amazing journey. The whole process of getting yourself to a point where, you need to make that change. I've been making a change for a long time. Just been a chubby kid, just going all the way back to when I was a kid. Leaned out in college, and then just life just happened. It just kept getting bigger. So, it was time to make that change to just get healthier. So, hey, what's going on, B-Baller? Miami in the house. All right. I'm believing that's what that says. But yeah, I wanted to, just get the word out in terms of like what you can actually do, what you can do to get better. There are a whole list of ways that people have gone through and made changes. And what I did was follow the ESEIS 25 protocol. I'm going to talk about that so that you can understand what exactly I was doing to make sure I was doing this safely. A lot of people have, and rightly so, have said, "Hey, doing losing that much weight isn't healthy for you." And there are just legitimate things about that. You do need to know what's going on with your own body in order for all of that to happen. So, yeah, we're going to talk about all of that today. And yeah, once again, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B. I'm the men's performance coach with GoodWood, the all liquid natural aphrodisiac men's performance fuel. And as being a coach, one of the things I noticed back in the day, just talking to guys, was that this it's still a supplement. Goodwood is a supplement. It's supposed to supplement the other things you do. So over the course of just talking with guys and just doing research, I came up with a whole process to help you with your general overall health, your overall sexual health. But for me, and like for a lot of guys out there, it's not only just the sexual health, but also your weight. So it's like, how can you help? How can I take this exact same protocol and use it to lose weight because we're covering everything. So I'm going to dive into all of that. So yeah, this is sort of special for me just because I realize I have some level of influence. I'm affecting other people. I have family members and everything, and I want to make sure that everybody's gets an opportunity to see that one, you can do it, and two, how to do it in the right way. Because if you don't do it in the right way, obviously there's going to be problems. You need to be in the position. So I position myself first, and then the changes come next. So let's talk about all of that. And I do want to give a shout out to all the guys who have given me encouragement along the way. That was very special for me. Hey. And also, I was doing all this on social media. So, yeah, the pressure was on. It was like I had to make it happen and stick with it. So that was really important. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I heard there was an issue with the micage. Let me know in the comment section if I got that cleared up. What's going on? Uh huh. Uh huh. We better now? We better? Okay. Yeah. Let me check. Hmm. All right. Microphone check. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right. Cool. Cool. We back in the house. All right. Let's get back at it. So, um, Yeah, if you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button, so you can get more information. And let's go. I just want to tell you guys what I did, reasons why I was doing it, why I did it. And so now I'm going to talk about why I did the challenge in the first place. And number one is because I always had the before pictures. I've done the P90X, the Insanity, the Tybo, all of those different programs. And yeah, it just didn't work out. And it was like, what's going on? You see those success stories. It's like, what is going on with them? It's not working out with me. So it was really important that I got that all together. And number two is I had dropped 50 pounds from the time I started this channel about a good 3, 4 years ago. And I just plateaued out. And I was like, how can I get past this plateau? How can I break it down? And then, number three, which could be number one, is the whole fact that I want to be a 10 on a sexual performance scale. When you hit the age of 51 and you're still single, the opportunities are there. So I wanted to make sure I'm in the best shape for that. And also, of course, I wanted to inspire folks, including my own family, and also just show that with E25, which is ESEIS 25, I'm going to break that down in a second, that you can use that to actually get better, not only with your sexual health, but also with your physical health, including your weight. Is just how you use it, how you use that particular program. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. 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 But yeah. Let's go on. So, and let's talk about how I did the challenge. I mean, first of all, you have to get your goals together. So my goal, of course, was to lose 25 pounds in 30 days, and also to become a 10 on the sexual performance scale. And the sexual performance scale, so those guys who do not know, it's a scale from 1 to 10. 10 means everything works. You have morning erections, erections on demand, spontaneous erections. A 1 means you need to go to the hospital. 5 to 7 is for guys who are just unreliable in different ways. And for me, I'd been touching on a 5, especially when I was at my heaviest weight. And, I worked my way all the way up to like a good 8 or 9. It was like in order to get to a 10, you actually have to have your weight under control. You actually need to have your body fat percentage, like 25% or below. So that's what I was looking to do. Um, and in order to get there, you need to know where you are so you can go up. So I created a sexual performance survey, a sexual performance quiz, so you can take that and you can just see exactly where you are, so you can start looking at how you can improve. Um, and so ECS 25, that is actually ESEIS. That's energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and soul. And basically turn that into a game. So you have these 5 categories. You score yourself with a 5 or 0. You set a goal in each category. You get a 5, for completing that goal, you get a 0 for not completing that goal. And so you're able to track yourself every day to see where you are. So when we talk about energy, we're talking about we're talking about what you eat, just being out in the sun, drinking water, breathing deeply, all the ways that humans get energy into them. And, optimizing for that. When it comes to sleep, optimizing your sleep, getting your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, of high quality sleep. And as far as your exercise is concerned, make sure you're doing the right exercise for the results that you're looking for. So since I was looking to lose weight during this time, the type of exercising that I was doing wasn't to bulk up. It was actually to doing more cardio. I wanted to keep muscle, but so I can burn fat. But at the same time, just recognizing that when you lose weight, you're going to lose fat and muscle. There's a process to all of that, but you can mitigate losing muscle by doing certain things. When it comes to intermittent fasting, that included fasting for this process, and also when it comes to soul, it was like, hey, you need to be stress free. Period in life, but when you're trying to lose weight, that part is important too. So really important to understand all of those things. Because the whole goal is to have a plan. You have to have a plan. Otherwise, you're going to fall back into the regular habits. You've been doing the same thing day after day after day after day after day. To suddenly change, like a lot of people want to do for the New Year's. It's like all of a sudden, I'm going to switch from I was doing all of this, now I'm doing all of this. The switch is too much. It's too fast. It doesn't normally work. But the best thing to be able to do is to actually track what's going on. So with E25, I actually have a daily binder, just to go through and just see what I'm doing every day, just marking it out. Um, so just setting your goals, setting your intentions every morning, things that we hear about all the time that actually do work. I was putting all of that into action in a way that would help me lose weight. So let's talk about how I did the challenge. The obvious thing, of course, you have to be able to weigh yourself. So I had a electronic scale that comes with an app and that allows me to track exactly what I was doing, so I could remember. It's like, oh yeah, I did eat that, or yeah, I did, do this day. That's the reason why that reaction happened. Um, One quick thing, of course, is that just don't rely just on the scale, because the scale is going to change up on you. There's your body's trying to adjust. It's here for your survival. It's not here for you to, just look good. It's here for your survival first. So it's not going to function in a way that you want it to. And like I said, in terms of, getting the energy is like, well, we're in the middle of winter here, right outside of Washington D.C., Hyattsville, Maryland, to be precise. And it's winter, so missing the sun, missing that vitamin D. I actually had to get out in the middle of the day, do some walking, just to make sure I got sun in. As far as my diet was concerned, I went 95% plant based, um, and for a lot of people, that's a huge jump. Believe me, a good 4 years ago, when I was weighing 285 pounds, I was eating everything, all copious amounts of meat. We're talking about the Carolina Kitchen. That's what it's called around here. I used to tear that chicken up. Uh, all types of whatever you go to a strip mall, whatever the restaurants were there, yeah, they were around the corner from me, and I was eating all of that. Everything from Bojangles to McDonald's to Taco Bell, I was eating all of that. And over the years, I made the change. So that's the part that makes that a lot of people are like, "Well, how did you get from eating all this meat to being plant based?" It takes time. It takes time, but if you want to get to it, you'll get to it. And of course, I was drinking teas. I was taking GoodWood just to make sure GoodWood increases your testosterone level and your blood flow. Of course, that's great for working out and for losing weight. Um, and so, one of the things I did make sure to do, was to be consistent with what I was eating. I was just making it as easy as possible to get the right type of foods in. So when it came to the sleep, oh, that part really important, is necessary for you to to get your sleep in. So I was in bed by 10 o'clock and out of bed by 6 o'clock. It was like your body likes routines. So if you keep going to bed at the same time, your body will get used to it and it will do that. It's like you get in bed I used to have problems falling to sleep, but once I got consistent, falling asleep became easy. And I made sure as soon as it was time to wake up that I got up immediately out of bed. So it wasn't like hitting the alarm and everything like that, because that actually causes problems when you sleep. There's actually a whole sleep science that you have to be aware of. And I was trying to follow as many things as possible. I mean, I have a weighted blanket, I have eye covers. Before I go to bed, I turn all the lights down. I have an orange light that sort of mimics the sun, like the sun is setting. Make sure the room is at 68 degrees. All of those things add up to you having a higher quality sleep, getting your REM stage, all the things that are necessary for your testosterone levels to go up, for your ghrelin levels to go down, your hunger hormones, so you're able to control yourself the next day. All of those things play in a part. And, we do have the course ECS 25, and in that we talk about all of those different steps that you need. We use a guide that lets you know exactly what you need to do. So you have a checklist. And you're like, oh yeah, I need to turn down the temperature. And oh yeah, I need to do this, so you can get to where you need to go. Um, and when it comes to the exercising, I came up with my own protocol for this just from research. So I started alternating days of doing high intensity interval training, HIIT, and just walking. And the reason for that is because I didn't wanna overtrain, I didn't wanna tax my body too much. When you just walk, you are using, fat for fuel, so that's helpful. But if you're working out every day, you can actually, inadvertently just slow down your metabolism. You can take it too far. So that was the part that I was like, "Okay, let me alternate and, just listen to your body." When it came to intermittent fasting, I'm used to doing that. So intermittent fasting, you have your 16-hour window of not eating and then the 8-hour window of eating. So I was used to doing that, basically skipping breakfast. That's like normal to me. Wasn't normal before. Had to take a process to get to that state. But one of the most interesting things for me was doing fasting. So I fasted for 48 hours and for 72 hours. Woo, that was interesting because it was interesting from the standpoint that I knew in order to fast correctly, you had to eat correctly. You didn't wanna have a whole bunch of crap in your body because you're gonna tax your kidneys. You're gonna tax your liver and you're gonna tax your kidneys because your body's, like, detoxing very heavily, and if you're detoxing crap, you're gonna feel like crap. So if you have, a lot of people are like, "Oh, before I start my fast, I'm going to go ahead and eat whatever I want to eat just so I can feel satisfied," and you feel worse. Don't do it to yourself. Eat some healthy stuff so when your body's like, okay, I need some more energy, it's clean energy, and you don't have to feel the cramps or the hunger pains. The insane thing to me, I didn't feel hunger pains. I was waiting for them happen. I guess being used to doing with intermittent fasting, I've also did a few 1 meal a days, type of things, and then when I got to the 48 hours, not a problem. 72 hours, it was a problem only from the standpoint of I was so used to, you have so much more time when you don't eat, and so you're just used to like, "Oh, I'm supposed to go do this," and it's like, "Nah, you don't need to do that." You can just take your time, do whatever needs to be done. Uh-huh. Hey, what's up, J3? Hey, thanks, man. 2023 is the year Brian is and his content is off in a major way. Great work. Hey, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, I love all of that. That gives me inspiration to keep on going. Keep on going. Um, and I want to make sure that you guys get that inspiration too. That's the reason why I did this. So, um, yeah, so the intermittent fasting worked out well for me. It was actually very necessary, in terms of making changes. When you do fasting, your body is detoxing, is getting rid of waste, and so it works out very well. The important thing to do when you're fasting is to make sure you're resting. If you're trying to exercise or exert yourself while fasting, you're actually causing problems. Your body's like, if you're staying still, your body's like, "Let me get to the subtaneous uh, subterranean. I forgot. Yeah, it's a level of fat that your body needs to get to. I'm not sure why it's skipping my head right now, but basically, if you're trying to work out or something while fasting, your body will actually go to your muscles to pull from. So you want to just stay still and just relax. And when it came to soul, when it came to meditating, I did that every day. Started doing it throughout the day. Basically, just if I knew that I had meetings coming up or something like that before a meeting, I just got into the habit of meditating for 5 minutes before the meeting started. That is a great thing, period. I think that's something I'm gonna keep going. And that's the one thing that I got the most out of this challenge. A lot of the things that I did already knew to do. The only thing about this challenge was the consistency. It was just being consistent with it. And I sort of knew, it takes a time to get into a habit. So certain things, um, yeah, subcutaneous adipose tissue. Get help over here. Um, yeah, when it comes to just getting things right, you have to meditate. You have to do things correctly. So yeah, I'm over here. I dropped that weight, but I'm still sweating like a preacher. We're gonna pass the plate. But yeah, uh, if you're trying to do any type of challenge, it's all about being consistent, and that's what I was looking to do. And so there's a couple of things to watch out for. This is the part. We have people who's, rightly saying that there are things that need to watch out for. These are the things that I came across. Um, First of all, in order to be successful with the challenge, once again, you have to be consistent. And ways to do that is just to make things simple. Get into certain habits. So, I got into the habit of getting up and just I'm out walking about a good 6:30 in the morning, doing a good 5-hour walk. Any challenges that I had in terms of just thinking is like you just make it easy. I would get into a routine to get my clothes out first thing in the morning. At night before I go to sleep. First thing in the morning, no thinking necessary. Just get to getting. Um, Other things to look out for was to avoid gatherings that weren't good for you. So, yeah, couldn't go to the club. Certain restaurants, happy hours. mean, I really stopped going to happy hours a while ago, but, certain places it was like, yeah, just be careful. Even going over to relatives' houses, during the holiday season, you just have to be careful. People are like Halloween, they're throwing candy at you. Thanksgiving, they're throwing turkey at you. Christmas, they're throwing candy and turkey at you. So you have to be very careful. Um, you know, you also have to plan for interruptions and just remember to forgive yourself if you eat a certain meal. You're like, why did I do that? It's because you're human, but just don't give up. Um, and of course, a couple other things like I mentioned before. Do not look at the scale every day. That is going to piss you off because it's not going to function. It's not a straight line. It never is. I can actually show you the graph that I have from my on the app um, for the scale that I have, and yeah, it was like I thought I was doing great, and all of a sudden it was like, "Nah, you just gained another 2 pounds." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, that doesn't make any sense." It's like, well, your body's not going to make sense to you, so let that one go. So when it comes to results, well, like I said before, I was an 8, 9 on the sexual performance scale, and now I'm now what I call a technical 10. A technical 10 is the highest level you can get to is just having morning erections. But there's another level that I'm trying to get to. That's coming up next, and I want to get to a beach 10. A beach 10. A beach 10 is basically you want to get to, go out on the beach and walk around. It's one thing to know that you function well, but you want to let some other people know you function well too. So, you want to have the body in shape, so that's a great thing. I feel lighter, going up steps, doing burpees, doing pull-ups. I just feel lighter now because I actually have less weight. And of course, you feel more confident. You have the ladies pay more attention to you. The conversations flow a lot more easier. You feel good. Now, here's something that's crazy for my guys out there who are big, formerly big, however it is. You know that mirror game that we play. Yes, the mirror game. It's like, hey, there's a mirror. You just did something bad last night for the past 2 years, whatever it is, and you stop looking in the mirror. I had done that, um, for a while, for a good long while, where it's like, yeah, don't, I get you just turn your head slightly. Yo, now, every morning, first thing in the morning, I'm looking in the mirror. Yeah, look at this. Look at the shoulder. Look at the shoulder over here. Look at it popping. Yeah, yeah. All that stuff. I mean, it feels great. All of that feels great. In terms of clothes, my clothes fit. The clothes fit. Well, actually, they're getting too big. Just got this last year, and this is a lot looser. When I got it, it was tight on me. So went from a double XL down to an XL. Now I'm a large. I mean, I was a double XL at when I was at 285. Uh, I was verging on triple XL, but now I'm down to an L. So I'm loving that. Um, Flexibility is great. Getting erections, they're going to happen faster. That's just you're healthier. Things like that are going to help happen faster. And I think the most important thing is that when you're taking supplements, and I take good wood. I've taken more good wood than anybody on the planet, but when you're taking good wood, and I take other supplements, mine. Um, I take Sustantion, things like that, maca. When you're taking these other supplements, if the healthier you are, the more effective the supplements are. So they'll actually get better when they're inside your body. Um, and that makes a huge difference, because a lot of times the issues that we have is like, people will ask me like, "What supplements should I take? What supplements should I take?" It's like, yeah, you can take the supplements, but if you're not doing the other things, once again, the reason why we came up with ECS 25 is because you're supposed to supplement that supplement. So you have to be doing other things. I was doing the other things so I could actually feel the effects of the different herbs better, faster. Still do, of course. Um, and of course, just having a sharper mind that comes along with it. But there are some things that I would do differently, and that is just understanding, you know, why you're doing it. Some things I wasn't really paying attention to. Like I mentioned before, understanding that you're going to get into the habit of things. This is the most important part when you get into the habit, so it carries over. I'm not as intense as I was. You know, it was a lot of thinking, a lot of just on it with everything every day. But the areas that I wasn't good at in terms of sleep, now I still hit my sleep at 10 o'clock, or I go to sleep whenever. You know, it's like, oh, you know, it's a long day. I'm going to sit here and look at this movie, or I'm going to do something else, or I'm going to go out and come back late. All of that, I'm good with. I'm good with. I'd rather just go ahead and get my sleep in because I know how it feels. It feels much better. And one of the biggest things I would change is how I exercise. I'm actually going to be talking about that soon. About how the exercise was different for me. You know, before I was doing high intensity interval training, you know, doing like 30, 40, 50 different intervals all at the same time. And that's not a good look for what I was trying to do. I'm going to go into that a little bit later. I'm doing some more research, but because um, I was doing certain things, you know, it just wasn't working out right for me. You know, in terms of exercise, making sure I don't over exercise. And initially, that's what I was doing. But there's a thing that I came up with. I'm just testing it out. It's called high intensity long interval training. You know, basically, I would do very short, you know, level of workout, a very, you know, whether it's doing 10 burpees or heavy jump ropes, or, you know, doing sprints on the bike, or doing actual sprints, and just doing it once and just resting for like 5 minutes and let my heart rate come all the way back down. There's a lot of science behind why that works out in terms of helping out your metabolism and not just burning calories. Uh, so that's really important. Um, and you know, the interesting thing about that is just the concept of understanding that if you're trying to increase your metabolism, you're actually increasing the amount of energy your body uses. When you're doing a lot of aerobic activity, you know, you see people on the stairmaster, on the elliptical, they're on it for an hour and nothing changes. Yeah, that's because you're using oxygen, using the energy from the air, which is great. I mean, that works for you. But if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to increase your metabolism, you need to use your own body's energy. So there's a whole science behind it. I'm going to do another video about that next. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to shift the way you think about working out. So uh, all of this to say that this is something that's going to work for you if you want to follow along. In the comment section, I mean, in the description, we do have a link to the quiz, and you can just go ahead and take the quiz and find out where you are. We'll follow up with, you know, a video. I'll explain where you are on the scale. You know, a couple of things that you need to do, and of course, we do have the ECS 25 program that you can just follow along with and just make the changes. You know, the thing about ECS 25 is one is just logical. We're not talking about anything that's extremely groundbreaking, but it's understanding how to put it. One, understanding the information, make it simple and plain, so you can just understand why you're doing certain things, so you will actually do it, and then turning it into a game so you can track yourself and just see the progress. A lot of times, people give up on their goals because they don't see the progress, you know, over time. This way, you get to track your progress. You know, you get to challenge yourself. So that's the big thing with all of that. So all of that to say, you know, really, really grateful to have gone through this entire process. It has worked out well for me. Really a lot healthier than I was when I first started. One of the things that people talk about is like, you know, losing this much weight this quickly is problematic. And the thing that I say is that I had practice before going in. You know, I was already eating clean. I was eating about a good 80% plant-based, 20% vegan. So that I wasn't going to shock my body too much. I was already doing high intensity interval training, so that wasn't a shock. I was already, my sleep was random. You know, I was already doing things to lower my stress. I was already doing intermittent fasting. All of these things were already lined up. So when I started doing all of it at the same time, being intentional, being specific, being consistent, losing weight was easy. Now, of course, there is going to come with that the fact that you actually do lose not only body fat, you want to lose muscle. And this is the thing about what is your goal. So, you know, if a guy was like, you know, trying to enter a contest to lose weight, not a contest to lose weight, a contest, you know, to look like a bodybuilder. I would not recommend doing this because this doesn't reach that goal. My goal was to lose weight, and specifically, just to avoid knee issues. As I was doing all these different exercises earlier last summer, on the beginning of the summer, I was doing pull-ups, and my shoulder popped out. Uh, Not anything bad. It popped right back in, but I'm still at 99%, 98%. It's not completely taken care of. But part of the problem was I was trying to pull up a good what was I? It was a good 230 pounds. Yeah, yeah. So this if you have too much weight, you're putting too much load onto your bones and to your muscles and your joints. That's not a good thing. So, going through this process, I did lose because the scale lets me know. The scales let me know where my body fat was and my muscle was. I did lose in both areas. I lost weight in fat. I lost weight in muscle. Actually, lost a little bit of weight in bone. But that's what happens when you lose weight. Your body isn't going to say, "Hey, just this, not that." It's going to just lose weight trying to stay in balance. So as I was losing weight, I was cognizant of that. So I was doing my hit training. I still doing a lot of pull-ups, doing a lot of dips, doing a lot of push-ups, doing a lot of burpees, things that were working my muscles. Doing a lot of air squats, things like that. Like I said, didn't want to bulk up, so I wasn't really lifting weights. But all of that is important if you're trying to get to that next level. If you're trying to uh, uh, not only just get the fat off, get the weight off. So now when I exercise, like I said, I feel lighter. I can do more pull-ups, I can do more push-ups, I can do burpees, feel a lot easier, and that's because I don't have all that extra weight. And so that's the most important thing. So once again, for those who are just joining, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B. I'm the men's performance coach with Goodwood, the all natural men's performance fuel. And as I mentioned before, as a coach, I came up with the CS25, the energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and soul game, so you can actually get better with your own health. So all of that led up to me being able to drop this 25 pounds in 30 days. And going forward into the new year, if you're looking to do that, this program can help. We're going to be launching a challenge sometime soon. And if you go ahead and take the quiz, you get onto our list. We'll be able to make sure you get the information on how to do this because it's really important. A lot of times we don't think about how all of the things that are around us affects our health. The reason for ECS 25 is to actually counteract all the things we have going on. So being able to go to sleep on time without the Netflix and binging is important because while you sleep, your testosterone is being developed. If you don't get good sleep, your cancer cells actually go up. So if you just were doing all the other things, you were getting your exercise, you were staying stress free, you're doing intermittent fasting, you're eating correctly, but your sleep was off, you're losing a lot. If you're doing all these other things, but your stress is high, you're losing a lot. If you're doing everything else, but your eating is bad. You see how this all has to tie in together. A lot of times, what people try to do is two things, and this is a problem. Typically, they'll say, "Okay, you know what? I want to lose weight, and so what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop eating and I'm going to exercise more." Sounds right. It sounds right because we heard it so many times. It's like, well, yes and no at the same time. Because once again, it is what is your goal? Is it just to lose weight? Is it to gain muscle? Is it to gain strength? So you need to understand what you're doing. But at the same time, if you're missing any of these components, you're going to be off. You can, in a lot, I've done it myself. Stop eating so much, exercise more, and lost weight the first week. And then the second week, lost a little bit more weight. And by the third week, plateaued. And it just never got up to that same speed in terms of losing that weight. So that's the most important thing is that you have an understanding of everything that's going on because it ends up showing up in the bedroom. And that's what this all comes down to. All of it is like if I didn't have to, be in shape, I would, hey, I just go ahead and enjoy life. But I understand what happens if you're not in shape. Yeah, your Johnson stops working. Your wood is not good, and that's not good. at all. You want to make sure that you're doing everything in order. So, and if fellas, if you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up in the chat section. And of course, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button. We do have on the channel, we're over 300 videos now. Uh, Proud to say we're actually now over 11 million views, which is insane to me. We have 163,000 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you. But if you have any questions, it doesn't have to be questions about weight necessarily. If you have any questions about sexual health, if you're dealing with weak erections, if you're dealing with ED issues, go ahead and let me know because that's what I do. Excuse me as I recharge my electrolytes. So, but one of the things that a guy was talking to me about earlier is a client of mine who actually has on a sexual performance scale, a scale of 1 to 10, he is a 0. So he hasn't had healthy erections in the past. I think it's going on 2 years now. And the reason why I bring this up is because I want you to be very careful about what you do when it comes to consuming pharmaceuticals, because that's what happened. He had an illness and he started taking this particular drug. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of it because it has about 28 syllables. You know, they try to fool us with all that stuff. But he took it and now he can't have erections. Also have another guy. He's not a client, but I was talking to him, just trying to give him some advice. And back in the day, he took a lot of steroids, and so now has to take testosterone replacement therapy to have erections. Look at this guy. Looks healthy, and he still has these problems. And I often talk about that. It's like, there's a difference between being fit and being healthy. And being healthy, a lot of the time, is just, hey, everything works. I'm good. The internal is good. There are a lot of guys. The external looks good, but the internal is crap, and that's actually a little bit more dangerous because it's like, hey, I look good, so I can do more. Actually have a friend of mine from young. Oh, he was always thin. He was always thin growing up. He had everything was all good, but as he got older, yeah, he didn't know how to take care of himself properly. So the pot belly came on, and now health issues are coming on. So you want to be very careful with that. So yeah, um, so that is, the whole process. Guys, if you're trying to do, get that weight down in the new year, one, you can do it. Let's just say you can do it. Number two, you want to make sure you're doing it in the proper order. That's the reason why I recommend, you check us out at givegoodwood.com. And, you can go ahead and take the quiz. The quiz is actually in the description below here on the YouTube. And also, of course, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so we can get some more information to you. So, yeah, I wanted to hop on and make sure I gave this information to everybody. If you are going to make those changes, you can do it. I applaud you for being here, looking to make those changes, and that's what we're going to do. Unless you have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end out. We're going to be doing some new things in the new year, so look out for that. We will have some challenges coming out just for guys who want to, we're actually going to have a way that we can challenge each other. Let's make a game out of it. So there we go. So I want to thank everybody for hopping on. Thank you very much, J3, for the donation. Appreciate it very much. I will keep up that great work because I got some great people who are following me and some great guys who need some help. Let's be all great together. So once again, this is Brian, aka Uncle Beast, and get your game up and go hard. Peace out.